Let's talk about the high cost of sleep deprivation and why it is doubly dangerous when you have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Hi, I'm Rick Green. I'm an amateur brain surgeon and comedian. I know a mother who had two very active boys under the age of 5. I won't say ADHD, but very active. And then she had a newborn girl who required constant attention due to some health issues. It was touch and go for that little baby, and it was a huge strain on everyone. When her baby was 5 months old, I asked Mom how she was coping, and she said, sleep deprivation is a form of torture, and it's a form of torture that works. The following year, I became a father and discovered firsthand what she meant. Lack of sleep isn't just annoying, it can be deadly. Being deprived of sleep increases your risk for depression, anxiety, impulsive behavior, car accidents, mood disorders, weight gain, poor self-care. It impairs your working memory and long-term memory, your decision-making, your ability to concentrate, to learn, to follow conversations, and more. Eventually, you can even start having psychotic episodes. It's alarming, right? And as you may know, ADHD increases your risk for depression, anxiety, impulsive behavior, car accidents, mood disorders. Yeah, it's quite a list. Take any one of those, say impaired decision making. If you can't think straight or consider possible consequences or foresee the fallout from a decision or something you do, you could end up broke, alone, or surrounded by hundreds of like-minded people who are also serving time in prison. And don't take my word for it. Ask any ADHD doctor or expert, especially the ones who have it themselves, and they will tell you.
Sleep deprivation is a huge issue. People with ADHD are prone to have difficulty getting to sleep at night. It's something that's called delayed sleep phase syndrome. Adults with ADHD are natural night owls, and delayed sleep phase syndrome is just a fancy term for being a natural born night owl.
So sleep disorders and ADHD go hand in hand. I don't know anybody with ADHD, myself included, that does not have an issue with sleep. We also know if you don't get adequate amounts of sleep, your ADHD symptoms are going to be worse. So, there's almost this commonality between sleep issues and ADD. It's going to be that much harder to pay attention, that much harder to focus, that much harder to be on top of things. So it makes the ADHD symptoms worse.
Do you dream of enjoying better sleep? Friends, you're not alone. These days, pretty much everyone is stressed and sleeping poorly. World events, climate change, workplace stress, financial issues, the high price of model railroading equipment. Look, a few good nights' sleep doesn't cure my ADHD, but I know it doesn't make it worse, and it can reduce the symptoms noticeably.
One of the things that so many adults with ADHD do is give themselves jet lag every weekend. That they're so exhausted from the week, they sleep very late on Saturday, possibly even later on Sunday if they've been out doing something recreational. So if you sleep until 10 or 11 o'clock, you're certainly not going to be ready for bed at a normal time on Sunday, and the cycle replays itself. And many adults with ADHD manage that by arranging for work and lives that allow them to sleep till 10 in the morning, and they're fine. But most of us don't have that luxury. And so lots of adults with ADHD are running on empty. That impacts the prefrontal lobes of the brain, almost like giving yourself a double dose of ADHD. And you're going to be very prone to be irritable, to lose your temper, to become more anxious, to become moody if you're chronically sleep deprived.
One of the unfortunate things about ADHD is that there's this kind of avalanche effect or this compounding effect that everybody in the world does better when they get enough sleep, when they eat well, and when they exercise. It doesn't make you better than you can be, but it makes you as good as you can be. So, that obvious advice that I call the New Year's resolution stuff, we should probably all be doing a little bit better. But unfortunately, adults with ADHD do notably worse on these things. And again, not because they don't know, and not because they don't intend to or they don't have a desire to. But as anyone who's tried to be on a diet, knowing what to do and actually doing it are completely different things. So, if you're tired, your focus is not as good. you're not as motivated, you're not as effective. If you're not eating well, you're not as effective. If you're not exercising, you're not as effective, because exercise is not only good for your body, it's good for your brain too.
Oh, say that again, Ari. That's important.
Because exercise is not only good for your body, it's good for your brain too. So, the bad side of this is when the person isn't working on trying to do better with these things, or isn't able to do better with these things, it makes their ADHD seem worse.
Let's wrap it up before we all nod off. Good sleep isn't just helpful for managing ADHD. It is fundamental. It is foundational. It is so much easier to build good habits, better diet, regular exercise, being on time, when you enjoy regular restorative sleep. Building better habits, including getting good sleep, is much harder when you're sleep deprived, which of course is the catch-22 of 40 winks. The solution?
The solution to sleep deprivation is to problem solve to get enough sleep, and I don't mean that in a glib way, because that's a very difficult thing for many adults.
Oh, I love that. Problem solve, experiment, trying out sleep hacks or apps. The good news is there are lots of things you can draw upon to problem solve and get high quality sleep. From app settings on your phones to supplements, from boring bedtime reading to bananas with peanut butter. I'll explore those solutions and many others in other videos. For now, if you're still awake, what tricks, apps, rituals, and so on do you use to sleep sooner, to fall asleep sooner, to stay asleep longer, and to sleep deeper? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you did find this helpful, please do like and share. And if you want to join a quirky but kind community of patrons, click on the link in the description, or maybe it's on the screen. David puts it somewhere. You can access exclusive previews, patron-only videos, and for as little as $30 a month, $10 a month, $3 a month. It's about what you'd pay for a minute and a half with a doctor, or a mile for your Uber ride to the doctor.